All right. So tonight's our gold call. And if you're brand new on this call tonight, these calls are really for anybody who is trying to develop themselves to gold. Oh, there, Shannon, I see you coming in on your Mac. Okay. Is for anybody who's trying to personally go gold or anybody who's trying to develop new golds. And honestly, that should be every single person on our team because this is how we build a sustainable organization. And so what I want to do firstly is just kind of break down exactly what gold means. And then tonight, we're just going to kind of take you on the path and a strategy on how to get there. And the really beautiful thing about this is that it is simple. It's duplicatable. And this is something that if you can master this system, you will be able to develop them over and over again. And this is how you grow an enormous organization and residual income for your family by showing people how to do what I'm going to show you tonight over and over and over again. Okay. So really quickly, for those who are new, I just want to break down exactly what gold is, and then we're going to kind of talk through the strategy of how to do that. So just kind of the basics. To hit each rank in Plexus, you need to have a certain number of referrals in your organization. That's kind of basically how our ranks break down. And if you achieve that number of referrals within a certain amount of time, your bonuses and your commissions are going to double, and you're going to do something called Fast Start. So that's why you'll see right up under here, there's a Fast Start bonus opportunity. If you do that within a certain window of time from when you've joined as an ambassador, those commissions are going to be doubled. Now, referrals can come directly from you, or they can come from people in your organization who share their link. So you can use this strictly as an affiliate link if you want to. Some people choose to do that. Or you can help people on your team share their referral link, and that's where the real income comes from. And we're going to talk about how to create a strong gold team by utilizing that feature tonight. And so really quickly and really basically, in order to hit the first rank, in order to go silver, you need 3 orders. And those do have to be personal orders. So if Rachel's coming in, Rachel needs to refer 3 personal people, her mom, her sister, and her best friend. Okay, they have to be personal orders. The next rank, the next level is senior silver, and that is 9 to 10 orders. And I say 9 to 10 orders, and we're not going to do a deep dive into the points breakdown tonight, but essentially your level ones, if somebody that you personally sign up is worth 6 points, anybody that somebody below you signs up is going to be worth 5 points. So if you sign up 9 people, got some more people in the waiting room, you're going to hit senior silver because you're going to hit that 50-point mark. Okay. Senior silver is a $150 bonus. If you do it within the first 2 months, it's a $300 bonus. And then what we're talking about tonight is gold, and that is anywhere from 17 to 20 orders, depending on if those are your level ones or if they're your level 2s and level 3s. You need 20 orders within any given month to hit gold. And that comes with a $250 bonus in addition to all of your other bonuses and commissions. If you hit it within the first 3 months, that doubles to a $500 bonus. So that's kind of just like the breakdown in a nutshell of what the actual ranks mean in terms of referrals. Now, the really neat thing about gold, and this is kind of the thing that we're focusing on in these calls, is that you can get there on your own. It's not impossible to do that on your own. Most people actually hit silver and senior silver. I would say most people hit that rank on their own with their own personal affiliate links. It's not impossible to get to gold on your own, especially if you're somebody coming into this with a lot of influence already. It is possible. But the other really neat thing about gold is that once you learn to duplicate this next process that I'm going to show you, you are going to fly so much faster. And you're not only going to build a strong, sustainable organization and get there faster, but you're setting yourself up for long-term success with this. Because what we're going to talk about tonight is how you can eventually learn to build a 6-figure income with this by mastering this process and showing people how to do it over and over again. So I want y'all to kind of understand this, especially if you're new. You know, it's really exciting to come into this and earn a couple of $100, to earn $1,500 and go Fast Start, all the things. But what's really, really powerful long-term is being able to show other people how to do that. And then to start experiencing the power of network marketing. And I was talking to Brandy today, and she's kind of starting to get that. Just once you start understanding that this is not all dependent on you, and that you can tap into other people's networks and you can help other people feel good and you can show other people the power of financial freedom, that's when this starts to get really, really fun. And just see the bigger power of duplication and building a massive, massive, solid and strong team with this over the next couple of years. So that's what I want us to have. I want us to hone in on this process and kind of getting yourself to gold, getting your team to gold, but really focus on that long-term goal of building a massive, massive network with this and building a massive team that's going to be sustainable. Okay, so essentially there are two paths to get to gold. There's 100 different ways to get there, but there's basically two paths to get there. And the first one is to go it alone, kind of like I shared. And to do that, you have to personally find 17 people to share your link with. Now that's how I did it 8 years ago. It took me almost 6 months to go gold to do it. So I wasn't fast start anything. And honestly, there was a lot of frustration along the way because I was a one-woman show. I was constantly fighting my numbers. When I'd get a new customer, another one over here would inevitably stop ordering. And it was a very difficult and frustrating process. But I did it because I had that long-term vision, because I had that belief. But it was honestly just grit and determination that kind of got me through those first 6 months. But I did it, but it was really hard. And if that's how you end up getting to gold, like take heart. It doesn't mean that you're not going to learn to duplicate. There are people on this team who are getting to gold all by themselves, and that's okay. You can figure this out down the road, but the earlier you can learn this duplication process, the easier this is going to be for you. And honestly, the more fun it's going to be. Now, the other way to do this, right over here on this side, is to duplicate. And to do that, we kind of use this 4x4 strategy. And this is really what I want to teach you how to do from the get-go, because this is how you build a strong organization and one that doesn't depend solely on you and your network, especially if it's limited in the beginning. Now, there are a lot of different ways, like I said, that you can go gold. We'll talk about a couple of those, but the 4x4 is just a good mentality and framework to kind of have in mind. And basically, that looks like you sharing with 4 and each of those 4 sharing with 4. And you can kind of see when you do that, you're not just bringing people in ones, you're bringing people in fives. And I don't know about you, but to me, it feels a lot more simple to think about bringing in 4 people versus bringing in 17 people. Anybody else? I mean, I'm telling you, like right now, I don't know that I can think of 17 people right now that I could call and get them to duplex this with me, even 8 years into this. So this is just a smarter and much less intimidating way to do this. So how we do this, y'all, is by learning to share this opportunity right out of the gate. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that you have to develop new business builders right directly out of the gate. Frankly, that's probably going to be difficult for you to go out and find 4 new people to go all in on this business with you right out of the get-go. But what I do want you to do is really start with the mentality that nobody comes in alone on this, and that you are helping people from the very beginning share with 1, 2, 3 friends for accountability and for some referral cash. And so how are we casting that vision from the get-go is how we're going to be duplicating this thing. How are you going to get your people to bring someone else to come in and do that with, and come in and do this with them? Because that, at the very basics, is duplication. When you're bringing in people in 2s and 3s instead of 1s, you are multiplying your efforts. And instead of having to bring in 20 people to go gold, you can now go find 10 people. If everybody's bringing a buddy along, all you have to find is 10 people. If everybody's bringing in 2 people, you just need to go find, I can't do that math. Somebody help me with that math. 10 people, whatever. You get the point. So how do we do this? How do we start doing this? Y'all, I'm going to talk about this on our team call here in just a couple of minutes. It starts and ends with confident energy, period. And if y'all stay around here long enough, you'll hear me talk about posture and energy. It is everything. But really, it's just getting in the mindset that we are normalizing, helping people feel better and helping people have accountability to achieve their goals. There are literally thousands of people out there, more than that, who need what we have. We just have to be willing to be bold enough to, and get out of our own way to get them connected to these products and this opportunity. And y'all, the thing about this is that yes, there are thousands of people. There are hundreds of people in your network right now who need this, but they aren't going to link arms with somebody who's 1 toe in and 1 toe out. They're not going to link arms with somebody who is projecting low energy or somebody that they think can't help them achieve their goals. And this is the really beautiful thing about this, is that people don't actually care how long you've been doing this. They don't actually care if you're an expert. They don't actually care if you know the ingredients down to the nth degree. What people really want is the assurance that you have what it takes to help them get what they want. and y'all have heard me say this before. What's in it for me? That's what people are always, always, always thinking. Does Rachel have what it takes to help me be successful on these products? Does Kim have what it takes to help me share this in a confident way on my social media when I'm freaking out about to make that first post? Like, is she going to hold my hand? Can I trust her to help me do this? So if you're going into that with 1 foot in, 1 foot out energy, and I'm not saying you need to be ready to go to diamond, but what I'm saying is that you need to be committed to this process of, hey, I'm going to help some people do the same thing that I'm doing. This is fun, and this is going to make it normal for people who are going to join you. And so you're going to do that, y'all, by just having this simple conversation with everybody who joins you. And this is a conversation that I practiced a lot in the very beginning because I wasn't confident in the beginning. I was shaky in the beginning. But if you can kind of get in this conversation flow and you can get comfortable with this conversation, this is as simple as it is. Whenever you sign a new customer or whenever you have somebody on board for the new customer, I love to get people on a phone call. If you're not there yet, at the very least, shoot them a voice message. You're going to talk to them very quickly and concisely about how they're starting their products. You're going to make it simple. Okay. Dumb it down so that an 8-year-old can understand it. If Piper can't understand what I'm saying, then the people I'm talking to on the phone are not going to understand. So you want to give it to them as simply as you can. You're going to send them their starting guide. You're going to get excited about their products with them. You're going to get them connected with our community. And then you're going to ask them a direct question. And you're going to say, who do you know who wants to lose 5 pounds and do this with you? Who do you know who wants more energy and wants to do this with you? Okay. We are going to break this thing down to people's needs and wants. And we are going to just put it in such a way that it's almost impossible for them to say, I can't think of anybody. I don't know of anybody who doesn't need more energy, or I can't think of anybody who wants to lose 5 pounds at the moment. Because the truth is that 9 out of 10 people in our circles are in need of something that Plexus has to offer. So by you doing that, you're setting the expectation. Who's going to do this with you? Who is going to do this with you? And if they don't answer you initially, that's okay. That's okay. This is not the only time you're going to have this conversation. And I want to also share that too tonight. Like, I want to normalize having this conversation with people more than once and not getting in your head about it. Because I'll say probably 8 out of 10 times when I get somebody to share, it's not from that initial conversation. You are simply planting the seed that, hey, it's normal for you to grab somebody to do this with you. I'm going to circle back to this in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks, when you get your products, when you're having your first win, when you're telling me that you have more energy, when you tell me that your rings fit again, when you tell me that you're going to the bathroom regularly for the first time in 3 weeks. Hey, who else in your life do you know that maybe could relate to that? I can help you throw up a post on your social media. Or, yeah.
Can I add one thing real quick? Because you're on a roll and I'm like, it's going to be good. Just
Yes.
on what you're saying, this literally just happened today. And you're so right. And it reminded me we have to normalize this because so often we're on the side where we're like, oh, I don't know if they end, but I will never forget the day that you asked me when you signed me up and I told you that I knew I couldn't afford it. And you're like, who do you, and I was like, oh no, I don't want the business. And you're like, no, don't overthink it. Just who do you know that struggles with skin issues, sleep issues, energy, weight, thyroid, autoimmunity, energy, all that. And I was just like, I don't know anybody that doesn't struggle with at least one of those things. And if people are honest, that's the truth. Like we don't. So today I was on a call with a lady I met on Instagram and she reached out about her husband. She said she saw my post about gallbladder and IBS and she's like, it sounds like this could help him. We got on the call, 20-minute phone call. She was so bought in. She's like, would this help me too? I was like, well, tell me, what do you have going on? Like, these are some of the things that can help with. She's lost psoriasis and, postmenopausal or menopausal issues and stomach issues and weight issues and bloating issues. And she's just going off about, and now she's ready to get signed up. Her son has IBS. Her daughter has a bunch of issues. And by the end of the call, she's already ready right now. I was like, well, hey, instead of you and your husband getting signed up together, I can sign you up and then we can turn around and sign your husband up. And I got to explain the referral program. She's already going to be silver. Literally tomorrow, she's going to sign up and be silver. And it just made me remember, like, this is possible. And you're right. We have to normalize it.
Well, and two, like, that's the power of getting on the phone and just being a real person with people too, because that's where you can really dig in and and so many of these conversations that would normally happen over the course of 2-3 weeks, like, you can condense those down and get to the heart of the issues right off the bat. And I think sometimes, like, we get in our heads about this and we're like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I'm selling something and I can't be a normal person. Just be a normal, relatable person. Like, we're all struggling with these things. We're afraid to talk about them sometimes, but if we can just kind of get down to the meat and potatoes of it and be a real person and, hey, what do you have going on? Can this help? It really breaks that down. That's why you're so good at getting on the phone with people too, Kim, and just like, and even again, if that's just not a place you're willing to go yet, like voice messages are where it's at. It's just going to help that relatability. It's going to break down that communication barrier and really just build that trust and communication so much easier. And so, yeah, like that is at the heart of this. It's just normalizing, sharing, and bringing somebody along with this. And I just want to say too, and then we can kind of open it up for a little bit of Q&A because I know we got 10 minutes till our next call opens. It is okay if you don't feel like you're great at this at first. Most of us are not. Most of us are not. The biggest thing is just to be willing. You don't have to show up on social media like an influencer. Most people don't. The thing that's going to resonate with people is you sharing your story, what it has done for you, and how it can help them. They're not worried again about the ingredients. They're not worried about the benefits. They don't want a checklist. They want to know why Rachel's feeling better. They want to know what it's done for Kim and how that's going to translate into what it could do for them. So, I promise you, if you will focus on painting that picture, on serving other people, and that's the key, you guys, is that we get in our heads and we're like, I look stupid on stories. I feel I don't look cute today, or I don't have anything to say. If we can get in our stories and we can get in our posts and we can get in our conversations and focus on other people and focus on serving other people and connecting other people to this opportunity that we're passionate about, to these products that we're passionate about, that's what it's about. It's going to get easier and easier and more natural for you to share every single time. Don't compare your chapter 1 to Kim's chapter 25 or to my chapter 30, because I promise you, she and I both had a chapter 1 and it was ugly and it was messy, but we fought through it and we've mastered these skills and we've learned how to communicate and we've learned how to normalize this. And we've both built massive networks around this. And you are going to do the same thing if you can, again, learn how to duplicate this and learn how to normalize this and master this very simple set of steps. That is kind of it in like just kind of the meat and potatoes. So if you're, no matter where you are, if you're just starting, or maybe even if you're stuck, if you feel like you've plateaued at silver or you've plateaued at senior silver, focus on 4x4. I don't have to help 20 people. I just have to help 4 people. And then I have to help them do what I've done. If you've gone silver, you can help somebody else go silver because we're following the same steps. We're helping them do a shout out on social media. We're helping them host a wellness chat. We're helping them throw somebody in a three-way message with your sponsor so she can get them the right information. It really is just about repeating the simple process and being willing to be a vessel. That's really what this is about. All right, I'd love to open it up if there's any specific questions or anything we just kind of want to talk through. If you have questions about specific messaging or processes on this, happy to kind of open this up to chit chat before we jump over to our other call in about 8 minutes. Check out the chat. I don't think anything major was in there. Jill, it's fun to be normal.
I have a question.
Okay. There we go.
Okay. Because I just kind of like jumped straight into the brand ambassador and bypassed anything referral related. If I'm trying to encourage someone, can you give me like a quick rundown of what that looks like for somebody? Like if I reach out to Alicia, once I know she's got her stuff and, have this conversation with her, how am I presenting the referral thing? Does that make sense?
Yeah, like in terms of like referral cash.
Yeah, like what is the referral? Like I know what the brand ambassador, like if you're going to make money, but if they're trying to just earn referral cash.
Okay, so here's what I do, Kim, and you can chime in on this too. So Plexus is set up. There's a structure that you can be a VIP customer and make referrals. And essentially how that works is that you stay a VIP customer. And let's say I refer Shannon as a VIP customer. I'm going to earn $20 as a VIP referral on her. And I don't earn any more residual income on her. I just get that one-time $20 referral. Okay. So you can do that. I've literally never had maybe had 2 or 3 people do that. Anybody who refers somebody, I go ahead and tell them, listen, this doesn't mean you have to work the business because it doesn't. But if you upgrade to brand ambassador, you're going to earn residual commissions every time this person orders. It's a no-brainer for you. So
Okay.
I really don't even have, but honestly, I really don't even have that conversation with her because that's extraneous. It's going to complicate the conversation. What I do is exactly what I shared just a minute ago. As soon as somebody orders, or, if they've already ordered a week from now, I'll say, here's what I want you to do. And I want you to use that language. Like you're going to direct them and tell them, okay, here's your next steps. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to be thinking about 2 or 3 people who might want to do this with you. Think about 2 to 3 people who need to lose 5 pounds, who need more energy, who are bloated all the time. Because here's the truth about this. Like I'm in this lockstep with you, okay? But there is something so powerful about doing this in real time with somebody else. You are 90% more likely to be accountable if you are doing this with somebody else. And Plexus makes it really sweet for you because every time you make a referral with Plexus, you're going to earn about $40 back per referral. This month, when you refer 3 people, you're going to earn over $300 in referral cash and gain some great accountability. Who can you think about who might want to do this with you? Lay out the first 2 steps of the staircase. I wouldn't talk about a wellness chat. I wouldn't talk about any of that. I wouldn't talk about brand ambassador because as soon as she makes her first referral, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, oh my gosh, you made your first referral. Make sure you upgrade to brand ambassador so you get your commissions. Because there's nothing else she needs to do. It's not complicated. She doesn't have to pay any extra for that. It's just what she needs to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that help? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'll have to rewatch this so I can write that down. But yeah.
I think that's in our, I'll send you to the customer care. I think that's in our customer care document too.
No, but I like that how you're just like, this is what you're doing. Like,
This is what you're
not
doing.
that they don't have a choice, but
Right.
you're,
Like, this
you're
is what I want
even
you to do.
planting their seed.
That's right. And again, just like Kim said, we're just normalizing this process of sharing. This is what everybody does. Everybody grabs a friend. Everybody brings a buddy along with them. Yeah. And it just feels good. Like it's not like, can you host a party for me? It just feels good because you're doing it for them.
And Brandy, one thing that might make it easier for you to share off of the bat is I like to just say, who in your family? Like 9 times out of 10, there is someone in their freaking home
Mhm.
that is struggling. Like my husband had his gallbladder removed. My son had his gallbladder removed. Both of them needed plexus. You know what I mean? Like my sister had anxiety. The other sister had headaches and migraines and skin issues. Like typically, we don't even need to talk about friends if we're honest. So like if it makes you more comfortable, you can be like, hey, just want to make sure like that while you're getting yourself signed up, it's you like Chelsea was saying, you are so much more likely to stick with this if you have somebody to do this with you. And also you make some referral cash back, which can help to cover your products so you can, stay on them long enough to be consistent. Is there anybody in your family that you can think of in your home, in your inner circle, whatever, however you want to say it, that is struggling with, and just ramble off those few things. And I really have what Chelsea said about a call. I have noticed that when I get somebody on a call, and while I didn't start doing that, I went all the way to Emerald without doing that. So I don't feel like you need to do that. But like it changed the game, and I wish I would have started sooner. But even if you don't talk to somebody on the phone when you're getting signed up, it's really cool to get on a phone call and just real quick go over a run through of like, hey, I just wanted to like make sure, because every time I get on the phone, much more comes out than what they told me on Instagram or in DM. And they end up somehow naturally sharing, like, oh, well, when my sister was going through all of her postpartum and her anxiety, it's like, it just like kind of comes up. And then I'm like,
Right.
oh, this sounds like maybe it could help your sister. It literally just happens when people are just being humans, and you know what I mean? So you'll find your groove. It's just kind of trying different things. And then you'll be like, oh, that worked. Oh, that felt good. Oh, I like the way that sounded. And then you'll just do it again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's really good. Anybody else before we switch over to our other call? All right. Awesome. I'm going to